Well, the U.S., of course, has some of the most liberal free speech rights in the world. However, this digital age is complicating what constitutes protected speech.
A case in the Colorado Supreme Court right now could set a precedent for what is protected by the First Amendment online and what is not. And Denver 7's Megan Lopez goes 360 on efforts to clarify where the Constitution draws the line when it comes to social media.
In the social media age, it only takes a few quick clicks to have your ideas seen around the world, to share thoughts or sometimes even threats. But in the digital age, should there be a limit on what can be said? For some legal experts, free speech needs to be protected even more so on social media. For others, it might be time to draw the line. While social media experts say the internet is starting to self-regulate, but it may need the government's help. First, an overview. The First Amendment guarantees the right to free speech, but certain things are not protected, like true threats or someone having a real intention of causing harm. After the 2013 shooting at Arapahoe High School, two students who didn't know each other and lived in different states started exchanging tweets. One eventually threatened to shoot the other. Prosecutors argued that student posed a danger, while the defense says it was just a hyperbole. That case is now in front of the Colorado Supreme Court.
This was protected speech, that it was hyperbole, that it wasn't a true threat.
For constitutional lawyer Dan Recht,
So we only want to restrict it in very narrow cases.
speech over social media should be protected, perhaps even more so than in-person communication.
There is a difference maybe, though, between saying things on Twitter, where you don't even know the person that you're talking to, versus standing on a playground in someone's face and making similar threats.
And it's hard to say for certain what a person's intentions are since you don't know them and didn't hear their tone.
Speech, if it's unclear which it is, should be protected.
Recht says there are instances where the police might need to investigate an internet threat, like the case of Sol Pais, the Florida woman who flew to Colorado after putting up questionable posts online. But Recht believes those issues are
Different questions, very different.
On the other hand, DU Professor Alan Chen says it might be time for the legal system to draw the line to determine
whether a true threat it should be interpreted in light of the speaker's intentions or in light of the listener's reasonable fears.
that could take years and
It may be the type of thing that the Supreme Court will be content to let the lower courts grapple with for some time before they address the issue head on.
he's convinced that eventually the social media constitutional quagmire will be resolved.
The Supreme Court eventually will take up a case involving these issues.
It's kind of the end of the Wild West era where
While this case makes its way through the court system, CU faculty member Matthew Kaskovich says companies hold the real control.
social media companies like Facebook probably have more power in what is currently free speech than the government does. And that's pretty incredible.
And while some like Facebook and Twitter are starting to self-regulate content,
There's really no map. This is a whole new frontier of communication, and our laws simply just don't apply to this. They weren't written with social media in mind, and that's why we're having such a great struggle like we are.
but blocking content or users might not entirely be in these companies' best interests.
Social media has always had a financial incentive to kind of allow people to say whatever they want.
He believes the question of free speech might come down to a balancing act.
I think it's a combination of the companies and some form of government at the federal level coming together to say, we got to figure out this problem.
Social media is ever evolving. Rules that apply today might not matter tomorrow. But for now, it's up to the Colorado Supreme Court and others just like it to interpret a 232-year-old Constitution and apply it to brand new technology. Megan Lopez, Denver 7.